Good morning students, welcome to All for C Learning. Students, yesterday we discussed two cases of the motion under gravity. Our first case is freely falling body, second case is body projected vertically downwards. Yesterday we discussed some examples based on those concepts. Present I am discussing some more examples related to that concept. First example is stone dropped from a multi-storied building. When it passes through the roof of the 15th floor, it possesses 20 meter per second speed. Each story has 4 meters. Each store has 4 meters height. Find the number of stores in that building. Find the number of stores in the building. A stone is dropped from a multi-storied building. While passing through the 15th floor, roof of the 15th floor, the stone possesses a speed of 20 meters per second. Based on this information, we have to find number of stairs in that building. Okay. Suppose this is the building. I am assuming this is the 15th floor. Generally, these floors are counted from ground. This is 1, 2. This is the second floor, the third, and so on. This is the 15th floor. Stone, while passing this 15th floor, it possesses a velocity of 20 meters per second. In body, this stone is dropped from rest. It is clear. A freely falling body. We have to solve this question. To solve the question, first we have to draw a rough diagram that will enlighten us which equation we have to use. That will teach us which equation we have to use. That is, body is released from rest. It possesses a velocity 20 meters per second. I don't know which floor it is. So some 16th floor and so on. It is on nth floor. Right. First of all, I want to find this height. Suppose let it be some h. We know that from our equations of motion, how to get the velocity under gravity. This velocity is given by under root 2gh. You know that? Under root 2gh. Our h is capital H. So this is capital H. The body is dropped under gravity. It gains a velocity after passing through a h distance is root 2gh. So this h is capital H. So here I know the velocity 20 meters per second. And this is under root 2 into z10 and this is capital H. Squaring on both sides, you will get 20 square, that is equal to 20 into h. 120 gets cancelled, but h is equal to 20 meters. But in the question, each stair has 4 meters length. They mentioned the length of each stair is of 4 meters. So I am calculating the number of stairs above the 15th floor. That is number of stairs. Some x be the number of stairs. Number of stairs above the 15th floor. 15th floor. Then you can get this x is equal to 20 by 4. Why? Because each floor has 4 meters length. So this 4 gets cancelled, 4 ones, 4 fives. So above this h meters contains 5 floors. This h meters contains 5 floors, and below this there are 15 floors. Total number of floors is equal to, already it is a 15th floor. Above it there are 5 floors. This is our n. Number of floors, total number of floors, n is 20. So there are 20 floors. Just follow the question and try to understand. Stone is dropped from here. It travels h distance. After that it gains a velocity 20 meters per second. Based on that, I calculated the number of floors above the 15th floor. H is 20 meters. 15th floor above 20 by 4, that gives 5. So total number of floors are 15 plus 5. Total number of stairs are 20 stairs. Next, our problem is this. it is one important problem. A body is dropped from a building of height 80 meters. So again, I am drawing a rough diagram to solve the problem. Suppose this is building. It is of height 8 meters, 80 meters. Body is dropped from this building at t equal to 0. Suppose it is dropped in the sense it is released from rest, right? It takes some time to reach the ground, but after 2 seconds, another body is projected vertically downwards. So at t equal to 2 seconds, another body is projected vertically downwards with some initial velocity. Here it released from rest. This is our first body and this is our second body. First body just released, but the second body it is projected vertically downwards. So next, from 80 meters height building, next after 2 seconds another body is projected vertically downwards. If both stones reach the ground simultaneously, if both bodies reach the ground simultaneously, we have to find the speed of projection. We have to find this u. So first I am calculating about the first body. For first body, this s is equal to, I am using s is equal to half zt square. First body, why? Because it travels 80 meters distance. First of all, I want to find the total time of flight for first body. For this s is equal to 80 meters. This is equal to half z into t square. Z is at approximately, I am using z10. Z I am taking z equal to 10 meter per second square. So this 10 gets cancelled here. You will get t square is equal to 16 or t is equal to 4 seconds. T is equal to 4 seconds and my negative time do not exist, right? So this t is equal to 4 seconds. When you get t equal to 2 seconds, you can calculate the time of flight of the second body. For second body, you will get time of flight. Time of flight for second body is it released after 2 seconds. That means 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 is the time of flight of the second body. So that is 2 seconds. Time of flight of the second body is 2 seconds. Next, our aim is to calculate the velocity of projection or speed of projection. So for that, I am using s is equal to ut plus half a t square. For that, I am using s is equal to ut plus half a t square, or you can use d square minus u square equal to 2as. Solving a problem may be different from person to person, but if you think, you can solve the problem very easily. Okay, for second body, I am using s is equal to ut plus half gt square. Why? Because body is projected vertically downwards. So this s is 80 meters. That is equal to u. I don't know about u, but for second body, time of flight is 2 seconds. Time in the sense time of flight t is t2. So time is 2 seconds less half z into 2 square. Of z into 2 square. 1 2 gets cancelled. Then this 80 is equal to u plus g times of 2. 2 ones, 2 40s. So u plus 10, g 10 I am using, that is equal to 40. U is 30 meters per second. If you can project the body with a speed of 30 meters per second, the freely falling body and projected body both reach the ground at a time. Okay? Students, I have 3 more examples here. With this, we can complete freely falling body problems. Third example in today's session is a body is dropped from a height h meters. It reaches ground in t seconds. Body is dropped from h meters height. It reaches ground in t seconds. Find the height of the body at a t equal to t by 3 seconds. So it is given in mains exam 2004. Suppose it is the h meters height. If a stone is dropped off from this height, it reaches ground in t seconds. It reaches ground in t seconds. Next, our question is find the height at t equal to t by 3 seconds. So from here to here, suppose here t equal to 0, it takes time t equal to capital T here. And suppose somewhere here it is at this point, here it is t equal to t by 3. We have to find this height. Suppose it is x meters, then you have to find h minus x meters. You have to find h minus x meters. First of all, what is the relation between this h and t? To solve this question, I drawn a rough diagram. From this diagram, I can calculate this is h and this is time t. So this h is equal to, we know that, half z into t square. H is equal to half z into t square. This is our first equation. Next, in t by 3 seconds, it travels some distance x. How to calculate this x? It starts from rest here and travels freely. So then I can calculate this x is equal to half z into t by 3 whole square. But this x is equal to half z t square by 9. But this half gt square is h. So our x is equal to h by 9. So after falling h by 9 time, or to fall h by 9 height, it takes a time of t by 3 seconds. Right? So height of that stone from ground, we have to find height, that is h minus x. Height from ground. To calculate this height, I have to calculate h minus x. Or h minus x is h minus h by 9. This is h minus h by 9. That is 8h by 9. This is the height. Suppose call it as some capital H. This h minus x as capital H. So this h is 8h by 9 meters above the ground. 8h by 9 meters above the ground. Okay now. Next, our example 4 is a freely falling body takes 2 seconds to travel from A to B. And 1 second to travel from B to C. If AB equal to BC, find the length AB. We have to find length AB. That is our next example. To solve that, first take a rough diagram that will make you to clear the concept. Suppose this is the journey. Here I have some point A, and here I have another point B, and this is third point C. This AB length is equal to BC length. I don't know the length AB or BC, but I know one thing. Suppose here it is time t equal to 0. It takes 2 seconds to travel from A to B, and 1 second to travel from B to C. So here time is 3 seconds. That is 1 second to travel from B to C. Body, I don't know where it is dropped. Suppose here it is dropped. It gains a velocity. That velocity I am calling this as u. Why? Because for my journey it is the initial velocity, and thereafter it travels with some v velocity and then continue to C. So first I am considering for AB interval, I am using S is equal to ut plus half a t square over u. I don't know about u, but this time is equal to 2 seconds. Time is 2 seconds. I'm substituting. I'm calling this S as some S. This is some H. This is H meters. So our H is U into T2 plus half G into 2 square. So on cancelling this 2, I can get 2u plus 2g, 2u plus 2g, that is equal to h. This is our first equation. 2u plus 2g, that is equal to h. For second case, I don't know the velocity. First, I have to calculate this velocity for this journey as the initial velocity. So instead of using initial velocity, if I consider these 3 seconds, I can use u as my initial velocity. I can use u as my initial velocity. So I am not considering BC journey. Why? Because from the question I am clear it is also h meters. So total height is 2h. So I am considering AC journey. You can also consider BC. If you consider BC, you have to find the initial velocity. That is, for suppose here velocity is some v. First of all, you have to calculate v and then go for equations of motion. So at present, I am considering journey AC. For that journey, S is equal to, I am using ut plus half gt square. For this, S is equal to 2h. S is equal to 2h, that is equal total time. Here it is 0 and here it is 3 seconds. So time is 3 seconds. So u into 3 plus half g into 3 square. Half g into 3 square. 3 square is 9, g by 2. I can write it as this is 2h. And taking LCM, can get 2. This is 3 into 2, 6u plus 9g. Or you can write 6u plus 9g, that is equal to 4h. This is our second equation. On solving 1 and 2, you can get both the u and h. For that, I am writing those two equations here. Our first equation is 2u plus 2g is equal to h. Our second equation, 6u plus 9g, that is equal to 4h. Okay, this is our first and this is our second equation. To solve this, I am multiplying this first equation by 3. So then this is our second equation. 1 into 3, that gives 6u plus 6g, that is equal to 1 into 3. First equation multiplied with the 3, that is 3h. From second equation, this is 6u plus 9g, that is equal to 4h. If I subtract these two equations, I can get h. Subtracting, this is minus and minus. The 6u gets cancelled. Then you will get minus 3g. Minus 3g is equal to minus h. Or h is equal to 3g. We know g is equal to nearly 10 meter per second square. So on substituting this, you will get h is equal to 30 meters. H is equal to 30 meters. This height is expressed in terms of z. So it doesn't mean that 30 meter per second square. It is just 30 meters. So it is the problem. It is a good problem. Try it once again. Next, our fifth example in today's session is to find the flash time of a camera. A stone is dropped from top of a meter scale. So someone want to find the flash time of the camera. That is why they tested like this. They started the camera and released a stone. While flashing, the stone dropped from 10 centimeter mark to 90 centimeter mark on the camera. Sorry, on the scale. Find the flash time of the camera. From this information, we have to find flash time. Okay. To solve this problem, again consider rough diagram. That is, suppose it is a meter scale. In this meter scale, it is a 10 centimeter mark, and here it is 90 centimeters mark. Stone is released from here. It falls like this. It attains a particular velocity here, and it attains another velocity. During the flash, it travels from this 10 centimeter mark to 90 centimeter mark. We have to find time, how much time it takes the freely falling body to travel from 10 centimeter mark to 90 centimeter mark. I am considering time. Here time is 0 and here time is some t equal to t1 seconds and here it is t equal to t2 seconds. From this, how to calculate the flash time? That flash time is obtained. Suppose delta t is the flash time. That flash time is t2 minus t1. Flash time is t2 minus t1. If you know t1 and t2, you can calculate easily t2 and t1. But what is t1? T1 is time taken by this freely falling stone from 0 mark to 10 centimeter mark. That is, it travels just 10 centimeters. So for t1, first I am calculating. For t1, I am using t is equal to under root 2h by z. This is used in case of a freely falling body. We know that. That is why this is t1. So this t1 is under root 2 into 10 centimeters in the sense of 0.1 meters. 0.1 meter, 10 centimeters, or you can write it as 0.1 meters. So this is our h here. So I am using that h by z. I can write it as root 2 by 100. Root 2 by 100. Next, why? Because I am here also I am using z as a 10, or you can use 9.8, or here no problem at all. This is 9.8 meter per second square. You can use it. From that, this is 2 by 98. Cancelling this, once 49. By considering 9.8, I can get a clear root value. That is, this is 1 by 7 seconds. 1 by 7 seconds. What is the time t2? T2 is time taken by the stone to travel from 0 mark to 90 centimeter mark, right? For T2, this T2 is again under root 2h by g. H here is 90 centimeters. 90 centimeters in the sense 0.9 meters. 0.9 meters. So 0.9 by this time is 9. So g is 9.8. I am using again the same formula, square root 2h by z. Here h is 90 centimeters, that is 0.9 meters, and g is 9.8. So from here you can calculate this t is equal to under root 2 into 9 by 98. 2 gets cancelled, 49. This root 9, that is 3, root 49, that is 7. This is 3 by 7. So what is our time? This is T2. So flash time of the camera, that is flash time, that is T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1 is 3 by 7 minus 1 by 7, that is 2 by 7 seconds. 2 by 7 seconds. You can write in decimal forms. Okay, this is the time flash time of the camera. Like this you can calculate flash time. Students, you can take some more examples to practice the concept. Okay. Okay, students. Our third case is body projected vertically upwards from ground. Up to here we discussed freely falling body and projected body. In my third case, I am discussing body projected vertically upwards from ground. Suppose it is ground. From here, a stone is projected vertically upwards with some initial velocity u. In generally, what we can observe, it moves vertically upwards. Thereafter, it reaches some height and then it falls back. This is the general case. So here, what are the equations used in this particular motion? For this, first we consider our equations of motion, how it changed in case of vertically projected body. For that, first I am using our first equation, V is equal to AU plus A. Before going to that, first consider the coordinate sign convention. Which direction is positive and which direction is negative. Sign convention, here you have to consider one sign convention, that is one direction you have to consider positive. Why? Because you are dealing with the vectors. So in case of vectors, one direction is taken as positive and other direction is taken as negative. So I am considering this vertically upward direction as a positive direction and opposite direction, that is negative direction. Our ground is our origin. Here our ground is origin. So in this case our u is positive. U is positive. U is in the sense initial velocity. Initial velocity or velocity of projection is positive, but gravity acts vertically downwards. So here gravity is in vertically downward direction. That is why if you want to substitute gravity or acceleration, that acceleration is negative. Is negative. So here we have two sign conventions. One is velocity sign convention and the second one is acceleration sign convention. Velocity sign convention is positive and acceleration sign is a negative. For this, first I am using our equation, first equation of motion. First equation of motion is V is u plus at. In this, you have to use to find velocity V after some time t. That velocity is u minus y, because acceleration is negative, that is minus g into t. Acceleration is negative. How to write our second equation? Our second equation, suppose it is ut plus of at square. How to write it in case of vertically projected body? This s is, we don't know about the s. This s is u positive into time. This a is negative minus of gt square. This is our second equation. How to write our third equation? That is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. In this case, v sign I don't know in which direction is there, and but u is positive, that is u square, that is a, that is minus g into s. So you can write v square minus u square, or v square is equal to, by taking u square to the right side you will get v square minus 2gs. So I have three equations. One is v equal to u minus gt, second ut minus of gt square, and our third equation is u square minus 2gs, v square equal. And our fourth equation, what is our fourth equation? Sn, that is u plus a into n minus half. This equation can change as u is minus g into n minus half. N minus half. These are the four equations used in case of body projected vertically upwards. So first equation, what are those four equations I am writing here? Our first equation is v equal to u minus gt. The second equation s is equal to ut minus half gt square. Our third equation v square is equal to u square minus 2gs. Our fourth equation Sn is equal to u minus g into n minus 4. These are the equations used in case of vertically projected body. Okay, students, first based on those equations I will derive some more terms for our convenience to solve the problems. That is why this is the situation. Body projected with initial velocity u vertically upwards. Now I want to find the velocity of the body at this height. Suppose h be the height of the body. I want to find velocity at this point. So here clearly we have two velocities. One is in upward direction and another one is downward direction. We clearly observe as it projected vertically upwards. Here it has one velocity upwards and another velocity downwards. I want to find this velocity at a height h. So our velocity of the body is the subheading velocity of body at the height h. Height h. To find this velocity, I am using our third equation, that is v square is equal to u square minus 2gs. v square minus u square is equal to 2gs. Here the s is h plus h. S is plus h, and you can substitute it as usual. So v square sorry, actually equation is v square is equal to u square minus 2gs. So from here v square is equal to u square minus 2gh. On taking v, you will get plus or minus under root u square minus 2gh. You have two signs. One is plus sign and another one is minus sign. Here velocity is a vector quantity. Plus v in the sense velocity in the positive direction. Minus v in the sense velocity in the negative direction. So clearly I mentioned at the beginning, that is, here we have at this height we have two velocities. One is in upward direction and another one is downward direction. We already mentioned downward direction is negative. So this minus u square minus 2gh is in downward direction and this plus u square minus 2gh in the upward direction. Okay. So from this you can write this velocity as u square. You can write this velocity as u square minus 2gh and this velocity as minus under root u square minus 2gh. Okay, students, based on this we can calculate. Here we have two velocities, both velocities are same. Both velocities are same. It is very important. So from this I can conclude some more points. If a body is projected vertically upwards with some initial velocity, it travels some height and then falls back. It is a general case of observation. So here, suppose at this point it is some height h. Here body has two velocities and those two velocities are same in magnitude but not in direction, right? So it has velocity v. Suppose I am calling this velocity as v1 and this velocity as v minus v. So I am showing the direction vertically downwards, that is why I am not using minus. So this is v1 and this is also v1. Suppose height is h. Suppose in the same manner, suppose if I consider here also height from ground is same. So then you will have another velocity. This is some v2 and it is also. So throughout the journey on the same height, body has same velocities. Body has same speed, one in upward direction and another one in downward direction. Not same velocity. v2 here upward velocity and here downward velocity, both are same in magnitude. So everywhere you consider any point, at any point these two velocities are equal. These two velocities are equal. Upward velocity and downward velocity both are same. Next our subheading is time of ascent. Time of ascent. Time of ascent. What is the time of ascent? Time of ascent is defined as time taken by the vertically projected body to reach the maximum height. How to know the body reaches maximum height or not? When body reaches its maximum height, its velocity v becomes 0. When body reaches maximum height, its velocity becomes 0. So to find the time of ascent, you can calculate v is equal to u plus at. V is equal to u plus at. For this time of ascent, if time is time of ascent, actually in case of vertical projected body it is u minus gt, right? This time is time of ascent. Then v becomes 0. If time is time of ascent, v becomes 0. Now substituting this, 0 is equal to u minus gt. U minus gt. So from this you can calculate time is equal to u by z. Time is equal to u by z, time in the sense time of ascent. So time of ascent is given by u by z. Similarly, how to calculate time of descent? Time of descent. To find the time of descent, I am using this concept. At this we already discussed body has same velocity at same height. That it means as body projected with initial velocity u, it reaches the ground with the same initial velocity. That is u. It reaches the ground with the same initial velocity. So I am using that concept to solve the time of descent. So for this, v is equal to u minus gt. Here time is time of descent when v is equal to minus u. When v is equal to minus u. This is important, student. Here we solve for every height. For every height, body has two velocities. One in upward direction and another one in downward direction. Those two velocities must be same in their magnitude. So body, as it projected vertically upwards on reaching the ground, it reaches with the same velocity. I am using that concept here. So v is equal to u minus gt when time is time of descent, or v is equal to minus u, or v is equal to time of u. Time of descent in the sense, body starts from here and reaches the ground. Body starts from here and reaches the ground. So our u here is 0. For a time of descent in the sense, time taken by the body from maximum height to ground. Time of descent definition is time taken by the body to travel from maximum height to ground. At maximum height its velocity is 0, we are clear that. So our u is 0 and v is minus u. Substituting these two, we will get minus u is equal to 0 minus g into time of descent. So our time of descent is again u by z. So time of ascent is u by z, time of descent is also u by z. How to calculate time of flight? This is time of flight. What is time of flight? Time of flight in the sense, time taken by the body to travel from point of projection to ground. Point of projection to ground, that is known as time of flight. That time of flight is given by time of ascent plus time of descent. Time of ascent is u by z and time of descent is also u by z. This is time of flight is 2u by z. You can also solve the same equation in a different way. Okay, one is time of ascent. In case of time of ascent, body projected with initial velocity u reaches maximum height. When it reaches maximum height, velocity becomes 0. Initial velocity u is u here. So on substituting, you will get time of ascent. For time of descent, body travel from maximum height to ground. At maximum height, initial velocity is 0, and when falling to ground, its velocity is u, but the direction is opposite. That is why I am using minus u. So on substituting, you get that time of descent. Time of flight is ascent plus descent. That is u by g plus u by g. That is 2u by g. Okay, students. Tomorrow we will discuss some more points regarding this vertically upward projected body from ground. Okay.